I don't ride for nobody, no badge, no crew. Truth, don't play favors, it just come through. I don't take sides, I take time and review. So to put it, let the context break through. If you clean, that stamp stay true.
Welcome back to another episode of In Plain Sight. How far would you go as a parent if something happened to your child in school? If something happened where the teacher just, in your estimation, went too far, what would be your off switch? Or better yet, would that be the on switch for either Mama Bear or Papa Bear to show up? Well, we're going to find out exactly what triggered this event to cause a Mama Bear to appear. All right, let's go.
On May 22nd, 2024, officers were dispatched to a daycare center following a serious report, prompting a deeper investigation into what was really happening behind the scenes.
We can do in terms of x-rays. Right. Would be like what you need if you're worried about an injury.
Yeah,
so we can look and see if there's anything obvious.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he would need to go to a hospital or urgent care.
Okay, that's fine.
So in the car right here.
Yeah, right here.
It was 3 days ago. Did you notice any bruising or pain or anything like that?
No.
Are you mom?
I'm sorry.
Are you mom?
Yes, I'm.
Okay.
This is,
All right. What do you want to talk?
we can talk right here, so I don't want to be disrupted.
So what's going on?
I was out of town on with Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
And they were left in the care of my husband, their father. And when he came to pick my two children up, the front desk explained to Dad that a parent noticed that was being physically mishandled, and they heard yelling through the room. So they reported it to the state.
Who did? The other parent?
Another parent. They won't tell me who the parent is, and they won't let me see the statement of the parent.
Okay.
They said the state came in and they had suspended the young lady that apparently that was involved. Okay. And they said now she's clear to work. It's just a retraining. But when I was away, I couldn't use my phone. Yeah. And my husband, he said they didn't give him much information, but they told him that a tape was reviewed and it wasn't anything that was, it was out of the norm, but it wasn't like they said, I guess, dangerous. The director didn't come in until yesterday. That's when I spoke with her.
Internal reviews always interest me. Every time I hear the persons that perpetrated something say they're investigating what happened, it always tells me you're probably going to investigate this with a slight bias, aren't you? Just a small bit of bias, just a pinch, a smidgen, a dash of bias. And now remember, they say this is normal. If we find out that it's something egregious, I want you to remember that the school said nothing out of the normal. Hey, look, I'm not the one that said it. Okay, let's go.
When I spoke to her, she gave me a copy of the different reports from what I even read of the teacher's comments, because she had to be honest to some level because she was seen, and she only stopped because she seen another parent. And this is what the director even told me, that she did stop when she seen the parent observe her doing what she did and yelling in a manner in which she was yelling in. I'm concerned. So
the parent saw the teacher yelling and grab him, or
the parent saw the teacher take his arm and twist him, move him away from, I don't know if it was a toy, whatever it is. They're claiming now that he was on top of another child. Okay. I said, well, where's this parent? We can't tell you. Yeah. And they won't tell me anything. And I'm like, well, if my son is doing something, I need to know. Precisely. And, all of these things need to be shown to me. No one showed me anything. No one said it. But this is the second time. The first time I observed my son being his arm, taking his arm, twisting it, and throwing him to the other side of the room.
You saw that?
I observed it with my own two eyes. Okay.
Well, how long ago was that?
This was they had just started attending the school, and this is their first time in daycare. This was his first time in school, and I explained to him when he came here. Right now, I don't know if it's a delay. I don't know if it was if this comes in, so they know that.
Hi, so Ms. Jyoti wanted to talk with you. I
asked to speak with Ms. Jyoti yesterday and this morning. You said she wasn't available. I'm going to have, please let me talk to the officer, and then I will make the necessary steps with the school. Okay, please, Ms. Fallon. I talked to you this morning. You know I called the police, and I said that I would come with the police, and I'm going to make a report of things because I feel like it's not being handled properly. It's being handled poorly.
Go, mama. Go, mama. Go, mama. Go. I'm with you. I'm with you. I am so, girl, good. That's good. That's good. You see, she's doing better than me, though. I would say that. And any teacher, just again, I know me, which is why the good Lord know he need two people in the world, right? And he need the calm and he need the aggressor. Sometimes the aggressor needs to be subdued by the calm so that things can get done right. Because sometimes the aggressor could make things a little bit worse. See, in my world, this world here, you grab my kid and you, if I saw us with my tools out that you did this and I'd help you experience the same thing. If we doing that, it look fun. I'll help you have it too. I will introduce you to the same method of fun that I don't see nothing wrong with that. I think it's equal. It's equal. If you have within you the ability to grab a child by the arm and just, you should be fine. Do unto others as you. I'll practice. It's a golden rule. I'm being very godly in this. I'm just helping you out. Across the room. You bigger, you might hurt yourself a little more, but hey, gravity. Okay, that's all I'm chalking that up to. But go, mom, bring the cops.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's go see what EMS is doing.
Okay. And then that this weekend with even before the someone apparently the teacher was frustrated. So what is the you're frustrated? You don't discipline. It's not boarding school. You don't discipline. And I'm very visible. They just had us as family of the month for constantly supporting the teachers, being there for the students. The staff. You can always call us. If he was out of control, you can call us. I work for a nonprofit organization. I can come up here anytime.
Yeah. Does he have any visible signs of injury or anything?
When I asked him, I don't get not right this moment. Not right this moment. I just want to get this out. I want to make a report. We talked about this morning.
I can tell you why the school is all of a sudden now really interested in talking. I'm going to give you the insight. You see, what they're doing is what we call damage mitigation, or damage control. You see, now that what we call the proverbial shite has hit the fan, what they're concerned about is that the fan is on max setting and there's going to be crap everywhere. So in order to make sure that doesn't happen, what they're trying to do is come down with a plastic bag and kind of put it over the fan, not realizing the fan's not going to shut off. The cord's protected. It's going to hit the fan and it's going to go everywhere. You can't stop this now. You had the chance before to not have the shite in the room, but you wanted shite in the room. Not too late now. A day late, dollar short, ma'am.
I said, can I speak with her? You said she's not in. Miss Maria wasn't in. And I said, well, I had to make the necessary steps with the police. And that's a police car, but it's stealthy. Please just ask Heather if he's a police officer. Hi. Okay.
That's mommy.
That's your mommy? Mommy? I talked to him on FaceTime that day. Was he okay? And he showed him. I said, can I see your arm? And he was like, I said, did she twist your arm? Did she grab your arm? And he just was like, and he was yelling.
What arm is left arm?
It was on his right arm. He was like
That's right arm.
And then, but when he lifted up, it was like I was telling y'all when he went to the whole raid thing. He was like, the pain was.
Yeah.
You could see that he was in pain.
Do you have any idea on your name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see and then they supposed to have videotape of it.
She said the state was contacted. They came in and reviewed everything, right?
No, they said that, but the state's supposed to have contacted us as well.
And they didn't contact you?
We never got a contact from that. So it's interesting because everything that they saying, there's like a counter to it.
Mhm.
And when we speak in regards to it, but this is not the first instance.
Okay. I'm gonna go and talk to them in a little bit after I'm figure out what's going on here. Then
And then it's to my knowledge, well, to my knowledge, the young lady was removed from the class. But then my wife told me that they have her back inside the same class with our same children.
all right. So I got that. So it happened last Thursday, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So last Thursday to his right arm.
Gave us, the reports from the school because I spoke with the director last night. And I asked to speak with and I asked to speak with, and the director is very brief. And she said that everything's not available.
It's really hard to hear what she's saying. Really, really difficult. I wish you would turn a little bit more so I can hear a little more. Or they amplified the volume of her voice just a little more. But what I just from the gist, this has happened a couple of times, enough to where it left a mark on his arm. Now, hear me out. Unless you are the parents, okay, there should be zero reason. It's not like it's back in the day. Back in the day when I was going to school, we still had canings. I don't know if y'all are familiar with caning, but you used to be able to get whooped by the teacher. But even then, it was with the permission of the parents. There were certain things that you signed off on. And it was only to do with a certain amount of strikes and all that. So there was still a parameter on it. There is zero, and I mean zero circumstance, especially if she's talking about the kid being in preschool, that you need to ragdoll a kid. Yeah, you looking for parents to show up and do stuff to you. You are begging at that point to be assisted in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Either learning how to fly or knowing how to pirouette, knowing what a backflip looks like. It's a whole bunch of teachings that the parents can show up and help you with. You must be wanting those lessons if you're going to put your hand on my kid like that. I'm not opposed to I could be a teacher too. You could be a student. I'll help you out.
Because they like to sit down with first floor memory care unit for a 10-12 female resident attacking others with her walker. They have separated her from the walker. No one's giving me information that makes me feel comfortable to know that it's handled properly and that my son is not harmed. Even mentally, that he's constantly being yelled at, and to a point where now another perfect.
And they didn't tell you what teacher's name was or anything?
No.
Okay. What are you looking to do? Are you looking to just document this, or you want to file complaints against them? Or?
Yes, I want to press charges against them.
Oh, good.
I'm going to give you a case number. Okay. So I'm going to document. I'm going to try to talk as much information as I can out of them.
Okay.
Get names and see if there is video.
Okay.
And then you can go down to just the municipal building, Cherry Hill, normal business hours, and say basically report the case number if you do want to file complaints against the staff.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be able to walk you through that.
Okay.
Do that.
So just give me a second. We'll grab you a case number.
Okay.
I'll give it right.
Thank you.
Yep. Here's the case number.
Okay.
All right. Like I said, we'll document it, and then you can go there and do whatever. I'm trying to get as much information out of them.
Okay.
And you bringing him somewhere to get checked out?
Yeah.
Not with EMS stuff. Oh yeah, I'll include that.
I appreciate you. What's your name again?
Officer Green. It's on the card.
Okay.
But like I said, I'm gonna try to get as much information so I can put it in the report, and we'll go from there.
It's showing. It's the 15th. She tells us a few weeks ago. She showed it.
Was the 15th last Thursday?
Wait, that's when they made a report.
And then, that's when they
When you tried to talk to the director and the owner, they said that they weren't here.
They weren't here.
The director first day was yesterday.
The 15th was a Wednesday.
So
they have it on Thursday.
So they wrote it.
They have it on Wednesday.
They have it on Wednesday.
And they wrote it up on Thursday.
Wrote it up on Thursday.
So okay.
She said that she wasn't going to be here.
And the staff didn't bring it to your attention at all.
No, the staff didn't bring it to attention at all.
This sounds like a cover up on all kinds of levels. Now, remember what we said earlier on. What they said is what? This is nothing out of the ordinary. If it's nothing out of the ordinary, then they're probably more than likely used to parents not knowing about their kids being manhandled in school. That whole entity needs to be investigated and see if it don't need to be shut down. That's what it sounds like to me, but I could be wrong.
It was Marie.
Just another parent's mom?
No. No, the director, way beyond after
Only because they said the state is going to be
the state is going to be contacting you. That was the reason.
So they told you what on Thursday?
When the
So it's on Thursday.
Okay.
when the state will the state will contact.
So, do you guys have any questions for me?
You did it! Yay!
I'm gonna try to talk to her. Who is this lady?
She's like the building director.
Okay. So she's like up management. She'd be the one to talk to.
Management. But she said she didn't know of anything. But when I talked to her, she said she didn't know anything.
Okay.
How does she not know anything? Didn't they say they did a whole internal investigation? If you did a whole internal investigation, then the people that are coming out to talk should have. Somebody lying to you, lady. Somebody lying to you. She knows. She just don't want to say that she knows because that's problematic for her case.
About everything, and that she would let the owner know, but I won't be able to speak to anybody today. And I said, well, because it's going on.
I know who's the one that's on the phone now. This world here wants to talk to her.
The parking lot of South Bronx for 1021 Chicago County.
And I even told him, I don't want to cause commotion at the school. I just want someone to talk to me. I know you have other students who care for it.
Understandable. All right.
So it said you can always go to an ER, but there's also the PM Pediatrics down on Haddonfield Road.
Okay.
So that's an all pediatric urgent care.
Oh, okay.
Do they do X-rays there?
Huh?
Do they do X-rays there?
They should.
Okay. I was just for my knowledge.
Yeah, they should. I don't know for sure what they do, but it's probably the quickest for you.
Okay.
They said, but if anything happens, give us a call.
Okay, thank you so
No
much.
problem.
I appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you guys. Hello.
Yeah, hold on a second.
So I just talked to them. I kind of want to get like you guys side, see what
Yes, please, I
happened or
wanna hear
anything.
this.
So obviously, we got to write a report about it,
Yeah.
and I just want to put both sides on it. It's not just one side.
So the teacher, we self-reported right away. So we have a self-report.
Okay. So it happened on Wednesday the 15th.
The exact date happened last week.
So sometime last week.
Yes.
Okay.
Last week it happened. And it was a parent that just saw another teacher get kind of loud with and we documented everything.
Not physical.
Not physical.
Really? I'm wanting y'all to realize that there are so far a few discrepancies between stories, and they're not small discrepancies. They're pretty major discrepancies to the point where one could be criminality and the one just be talk. Those are pretty major differences.
Okay.
There was no there was but yeah, you can, if you want to talk to my owner, Miss Jyoti, you can
I'll
talk to her. Yeah.
Jyoti? Is that, hi, this is Officer Greenwald, Cherry Hill Police. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So yeah, we we got called out here. So like I was telling, what was your name? I'm sorry.
Fallon.
We have to write a report, obviously, and I kind of want to get both sides of the story. So I wanted to come talk to you guys.
Yes, definitely, officer. There was a parent who saw that was actually on another child, grabbing a book from her. So in order to protect that child, Miss Anais just instead of picking, we trained them to pick from under the arms, but she picked him up from the arm.
I thought you said there was nothing physical, though. Hold up. Wait a minute. Somebody lying. You just said there was nothing physical, Fallon. Talking like a felon. You lied. You see what I mean by there are pretty major discrepancies? Do you see what I mean now? You see, if you are going to try and absolve yourself of responsibilities and problems, then here's my suggestion. Be honest. Just a little bit.
So sometimes, you just take one arm and you pick because she was trying to protect the other child.
Yes.
And so that was seen by another parent and they reported to us.
Right.
We self-reported to the abuse line. We self-reported to the licensor. They all cleared her.
Just write this down. Sorry. Sorry. I just want to write this down so I get this. So self-reported.
At all. We self-reported to the abuse line. They did not open the case. They said it's not abuse. She was just trying to pick up the child. And so they did not open an abuse case because she was just trying to pick up the child from one arm.
Oh, okay.
And then we self-reported to the licensor. In fact, licensor came yesterday and she was all okay with everything. We had written statements. We also retrained Miss Anais. We gave her a warning saying how to pick up a child again. We went over all the protocols that we are recommended to do.
Okay.
And everything, we also sent her home. And the next day she came after half day, after abuse line had cleared her. So we did everything to make sure that it's not a case of abuse.
Okay.
He was absolutely fine. It was just a pick from the arm instead of picking from under the arms. That was the only thing in this case.
Right.
So there is no abuse in this case. The parents need, have been communicated the same thing.
Okay. All right.
So this is where we stand with it, and I don't understand why the parent is called the cops and the
ambulance and stuff.
Oh, you don't know why? Do you people realize something? If the school considered it something enough to call and self-report, do you think then the parent should just be okay? They don't have a right to want to know more and do more because it's their kid. They also, listen to me, parents have a prerogative to do what they need to do to protect their child. Just because you did something don't mean you have to trust what you did. And so far it's all hearsay. You didn't communicate exactly everything to the parent. Why can't they just call the cops? If you did nothing's going to come of it, is it? No, you'll be fine. Right?
Listen, we get called for stuff all over the board every day. So, all right. So I just want to rerun. All right. So the incident happened last week. You self-reported it to the abuse line. They didn't open it because it wasn't abuse. Then self to the insurance company.
Well, the
licensor.
Our licensor, Miss Stephanie, she actually came yesterday to check again everything.
And they came yesterday, and Miss Anais, was it? Anise got retrained or
she retrained and a warning that
and got a warning.
In future she has to pick up the kids appropriately if she has to move them from a setting.
Okay.
And redirect them.
Okay. How do you spell Anise?
Anais.
Like I said, we just got to document it, and that's basically it.
Is there anything else that I need to do?
Nothing really. I mean, so like I said, they found out, I guess, about it last Thursday when you guys contacted them. Okay.
I spoke to Dad and he rushed me off. He told me it's something that Mom had to deal with.
Okay.
And Mom was on vacation, so we sat down with Mom yesterday.
Okay. Are you missing a niece?
I'm the sender. No, I'm the director.
Yes. So many titles around here.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just writing that down.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but basically, I guess I don't know. And I guess she wasn't happy with the response. I guess so she called us. But like I said, we just got to document it, and then that's it. All right.
All right, thank you, officer.
Anybody smelling fish? I smell fish, like rotten fish. Something's just not setting right in my soul about this. Something just, for the parent to react the way they did to involve, something else is just not being spoken of here. And I can't say that I can put it on the parent yet.
Sabrina.
Do you guys have any questions before I go?
Is the child able to stay because of the conditions? If she's making accusations and wants certain things outcome, is it safe for us to keep the child in the school?
I mean, that's up to you guys.
Okay.
But
I just want to make sure because,
Yeah, so I mean, I think the mom's just upset that he can't really say what happened, or he was just making a noise with and looking at his arm. She was kind of whatever.
4 days later?
I sense a little bit of sarcasm and condescension. Do you see it? I see it. If I would, this is my solution. I understand that, daycares might be in small supply, limited supply. But I think I would have to pull my kid just on the merits of how they've handled it. One, their behavior, and thirdly, if this is how they investigate, I don't want to risk another episode with my son. I wouldn't. That's just me though. I'm different.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, I just get caught here. Right?
I know.
So that's. But as far as safety, I mean, like she wasn't like saying, "Oh, I'm going to go in there," or whatever, threatening. Like she was. I don't think that'd be a problem at all. But I mean, again, that's you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any other questions before I go?
So you're documenting it. Can we get a report of that?
I'm going to give you a case number.
Perfect.
And then I'll circle the records number, and then you guys can call within a couple of days and get a copy of it.
Okay.
Like I said, this is why I wanted to come talk to you guys. So I'm just going to document basically what they said, and then what you guys said is you self-reported to the abuse line. They didn't open it because it wasn't abuse.
Right.
Then the licensor who responded yesterday and basically did a short retraining with Miss Anais. Yeah, that's it. All right.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, it's all good. I just wanted to say that so I get it all right.
Thank you.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
All right. What's up? No problem. All right.
Thank
you guys
you.
have any other questions? Let me grab you the case card real quick.
Okay.
Just hang out for one more minute. All right. So that's the case number.
Okay.
All right.
So I'll call here, ask for this,
Yep.
and then they'll let me know when it's available.
Perfect. Yep.
Thank you.
Got it. No problem. You too. So like I spoke to everyone else. I just kind of wanted to get your side of kind of what happened.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I didn't want to put you in a report and then
no.
I didn't get your side. You know what I
You're
mean?
fine. Yeah. So what happened was that day, around that time, Christian was actually, he went and tackled another friend, and that friend was crying.
Okay, so he was on top of another kid.
He was on, exactly.
Okay.
And I just removed him off from her.
Okay.
And I told him, like, you need to use nice hands. That's not nice. She's
Yeah.
like, look at her. She's crying. And my voice was a little bit elevated because there were kids in the classroom, you know, screaming.
Yeah.
So, you know, my voice was elevated.
That's
I'm going to be the one to say it. I'll say it. I don't, you know me, I don't really care. I'll say it. She lying. She is lying. You know what I want to see? I want to see video. I guarantee they have some kind of camera system somewhere in there. For the youngs, they have to have it. She lying. I'm 85% sure she lying. Here's why I think she's lying. Every time I hear people say that it wasn't a big deal when they did something, they don't need to elaborate on why it wasn't a big deal, if it really wasn't a big deal. But if they're trying to convince you that it was a big deal, they'll go into every avenue to make sure that you understand why it wasn't a big deal, so you could think it wasn't a big deal like they think. She lying.
basically it.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you grab him a certain way?
I did grab him, and it was by like right here.
Like in the underarm?
But it wasn't like firmly. It was just like
Just like in the armpit.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just in the armpit.
Kind of like you yanked his arm.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah,
I just wanted to get your side. If I'm documenting things, I just wanted to, you know what I mean? Especially for you guys' sake. All right. I had, is it, how do you say that?
Anais.
Anais.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Is that your first name?
Yeah.
Anais.
Yes.
Okay. What's your last name? All right. Like I said, I'll be documenting it. Have any other questions?
So you want to go for that for a time?
I mean, it's a prerogative, but it's your child.
Exactly.
Yeah. We are a caring center.
Yeah.
And if something occurs, we take the proper protocol and the proper steps to make sure that everything is okay.
Yeah.
She's not happy with it. I get that. You want something done a little more. It's kind of not fair to someone that's starting off in this career to tarnish her reputation.
Tarnish her reputation. Tarnish her reputation? Is that what she's doing? Tarnishing her reputation? If my kid tells me he was hurt and you tell me that you did grab him in an appropriate way, that's not the way you train, how is it tarnishing her reputation if I see the same thing you see, except I have it in my head as worse because it's my kid and not yours? Is that what we are now? Okay.
Her future for a mistake.
Yeah. Listen.
It is what it is. we'll let things run its course.
Yeah, like I said, we just document it, and everywhere we go, if we get a neighbor complaining someone blowing leaves on the lawn, we got to write a report about it. So,
Oh, that must be tedious.
yeah, crazy stuff, huh? But all right, if you have no other questions, I'm gonna get out of here.
All right.
Stop. Don't want to disrupt your day anymore. All right, thank you. Have a good day.
On May 20,
I'm going to tell you this right now. I do not believe the school at all. I'll tell you why I don't believe the school. Everything for them seems too nonchalant. They brushed it all as nothing. It's no big deal. There almost is no concern that the parent has a worry about their child. They should just say, no, don't worry about it. It's nothing big. And you're telling me that you know that she did something that was not part of protocol, but I should trust you. Oh, we're retrained. Well, so the first training didn't take of how to handle a kid. Wouldn't that be one of the main things that you'd be training on? I look, I'm just glad none of this stuff ever happened on my watch as a father. I am. Because I lie. It did happen one time. And I did manage to subdue my base instinct of going in on the teachers, and I didn't. I was proud of myself. But there's a second time something close. They didn't put no hands on my kid, but they did do them wrong, and I didn't go in there violent, but I went in there very adamant. And they almost felt like if I shouldn't have been doing that, but I'm protecting mine. You don't get to tell me how to protect my son. You're the one that's the perpetrator of the issue. So I think I should be within my rights to act accordingly. But y'all might think differently. Y'all might think the teacher had all rights to do it. She didn't do nothing bad. She would just move the kid. That's what everybody says. So that's what you believe. You might believe it. That might be you. But are you of the mind that maybe the parent has a right to investigate more than the school does? If that's the case, you let us know that too. Or you might be neutral and you want to see exactly what happened. Unfortunately, it's not like a national case where you'll get the outcome. This will be an internal thing that we probably will never know the end to. Anyway, whichever one you sit on, let us know in the comment section. I already gave you my 2 cents or 5. It might be 50 at this point. Inflation. Just let me know what your thoughts are, and we'll catch you on the next one.
One wrong move, turn the present into the past. I don't ride for nobody, no badge, no crew. Truth don't play favorites, it just come through. I don't take sides, I take time and review. So to put it, let the context break through. If you clean, that stamp stay true. If you foul, that show up too. No miss, no spin, no cover up hype. Everything judge in plain sight.